Hello, and welcome back to CAD Builder. We are pleased to announce the release of version 1.3.11. There are many new functions to go through, so let's have a quick tour. First, we will begin with the last release's main feature, multi-room printing. When you access the quick print function on the design, you can directly pick which rooms and views are to be included or disabled. When you proceed, you will find a single document with all of the associated pages, allowing for quick printing of multi-room jobs. Empty wall elevations are also automatically left out. 1.3.11 brings another boon for designing, cabinet accessories. Appliances, decoratives, and other accessories may now be represented directly inside a cabinet's wireframe construction. These items can be placed within the cabinet or attached directly to front or inside elements. For example, here I have a base cabinet with a pull-out door, waiting for a trash basket. I can then select the door, go to its attributes, and click Add Item to open the Select Decorative Item menu. I'll access the Reva Shelf category, click on Accessories, Kitchen, Sink base categories, waste container, and maple bottom mount waste baskets. Click the item on the right and then click Select to attach it to the selected door. Once this is done, the basket will be added as a sub-branch of the associated door, and you may select it to modify its appearance on the right. Positions, X, Y, and Z handle where it is located horizontally, vertically, and depth-wise from the origin point. Angle can change its orientation, and width, height, depth allows you to change the dimensions of the item. You can also remove it from the cabinet by deleting it in the same area. Opening and closing the door will also move the decorative item. Another example is this tall cabinet. It has drawers at the bottom and a pair of doors at the top. The middle is reserved for a double oven. Instead of placing this appliance in the design, I can select the fixed shelf below the opening and go in the same menu. I'll select the double oven from the appliance catalog and modify its dimensions to match the real-life counterpart. Then I can use the attributes to place it in the correct location and voila! Let's look at a third example, this time with closets. Here we have a shelf and drawer closet cabinet with a closet rod. We can fill the shelves with shoes in the same way by selecting the shelf and adding items, this time from the decorative items close section. And we can do the same for the closet rods with some shirt. The results will enhance the cabinet rendering like nothing else. The design module has another new function that allows you to extend cabinets to fill up empty space. Say you have some space on the wall that you want to fill in with a full height door base cabinet. Once you drag it in, you can select it and click Extend Right to resize its width to the right boundary. You can do this in between cabinets as well. So, for example, I have some space between these two wall cabinets and I want to fill it in with a paired door box. I can drag the new cabinet into the space and then click Expand Both and it will do just that. You can do this within the plan view, but you can also do it manually within elevation view. Select the cabinet to view the controls on either edge of the product in the sectional view, and you can click and drag these to resize the cabinets left, right, or up and down. We will now move on to cabinet connections. Version 11 brings 3 new joins to CAD Builder. We will begin with the Hefele Rafix connector. You'll notice the construction connection has its template, which you can copy and customize for your own uses. Set the hole depth in both parts, screw hole diameter, and the side where the Rafix applies. You can set it to external for case parts and top right back for inside parts, or the opposite of these orientations. Settle how CAD Builder will place the Rafixes, be it from the front to the back to front, or centered on the connection, and the quantity of these connectors. For example, if we select spacing and set this to 3 inches, there will be as few Rafixes as can be while maintaining no more than 3 inches center to center, meaning bigger connections get more connectors. Set the parts gap, whether the CNC will pre-drill for it or not, and what type of Rafix connector to use. Assign it to a cabinet connection like any other joint, and you will see the result in cabinet constructions. The second new connection is the Lamello Cabinero. It has very similar parameters, describe dimensions, placements, and what type of connectors to use. When applied, it too will appear in cabinet constructions, cut lists, reports, as well as CNC executions. If you plan to send either Lamello or Rafix joints to be routed by your CNC, keep in mind that their specs require certain sized holes on the connector part, usually 15 mm for the Lamello and 20 mm for the Rafix, though these can vary with the version of the connector. The final new joint is the pocket hole. It has the same settings as the other two and can appear in constructions, cut lists, and reports, but not on CNC routing. Dado joints have 2 new settings, minimum thickness and tenon breaks. If minimum thickness is activated, it can maintain a minimum dado channel thickness, even if the connected piece is thinner. This can ensure that the CNC's smallest pocket tools will always be able to route the connection. If enabled, indicate where the extra thickness would stretch, either towards the face or towards the back of the cabinet. Dado tenon breaks can separate dado connections into multiple tenons and grooves by introducing empty spaces. Set the tenon break length and the break positions, and decide if they have a set quantity or if they are determined by maximum spaces. Now let's move on to drawer guides. 1.3.11 allows for drawer guide pre-drilling to be done on the sides in appropriate framed cabinets or mounted onto shelves underneath the drawer box. If you keep sides and partitions flush to the inside of the frame, you can enable the side drilling by setting the drawer guide preferred mount surface to side of guide within the settings of the drawer guide. To pre-drill to a shelf underneath, pick bottom of guide instead, and fill in the subsequent parameters for the required hole diameter, depth, and locations relative to the opening edge. CapBuilder will try to use the preferred mounting location, though if it's not available or suitable, it will switch to other options for that situation. As always, you can view our release notes on our website at capbuildersoftware.com/release notes for a full list of changes. Thank you, and we will see you in the next video.